I'm here once again every Tuesday, 2:30 p.m. for the craft. So I want to go ahead and start this off by giving a shout out to some of our local and international partners. FOE Entertainment, ran by Mr. Jesse Ha, holding it down. What's up, Ha Styles? So basically, if you got anything going on in the music world, if you need beats, if you need video production, if you need management, information, he does consulting. Very, very intelligent when it comes to the music world. He's seen it all. He has his own podcast he does. So check out Hostiles and FOE Entertainment. Also, check out our boys over at TNT Photos. They do some of the best edits in the game right now. Definitely jump on with them. They are official Alpha Pack Sports sponsors. They do all our edits. If you see any fire pictures from us online, they did it. I promise you they did it. And we stand by their abilities 100%. They also do everything from business cards to invitations, so definitely check them out if you're in the sports world, music world, or anyone that honestly needs anything like that done. They are very professional and fast. A lot of times you can get an edit or something done within 48 hours. Like, the turnaround time is freaking amazing. Last but surely not least, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Antonio Pompey with his business Flight Academy Kicks. They are really booming and taking off right now. Basically, they are your number one and should be only stopped for exclusive footwear as well as apparel. He is really taking off. He's officially gone global. I saw that he got his first order in the UK. The UK always shows love to small businesses, so big ups to the UK and all my UK brothers out there. Salute. So if you're looking for anything exclusive, you're looking to be the flyest person rocking around town, flyest person in the club, or anywhere you're trying to go and stand out, Flight Academy Kicks is your spot. So let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. We spent last week talking about how to pick the perfect school. Now, exactly how we're going to pay for that school. And that's what today's show is about. I've always been a true believer in no one should have to pay for college out of their pocket or have to take out loans, because college is about knowledge and education and about finding yourself. And for me, taking out loans and things like that, coming out of pocket, just isn't what college should be about. You're just going to put yourself in debt. And the way people honestly change majors throughout college, is it really worth going into debt like that? The degree might be something you love. You might want to be a teacher. You might want to, let's say you want to be a kindergarten teacher. On average, kindergarten teachers aren't going to bring in that much. But you know what? The school's going to put you in debt for a lot more than what your degree possibly could bring in for you. Doesn't mean your career is any less important. You're doing what you love to do. So should you have to go into debt in order to do that thing that you love to do the most? No, you shouldn't. So me personally, I've always felt like you should use your God-given abilities to take care of college and all those financial responsibilities that come with it. For me, it was sports. Football, beautiful thing. Track and field helped pave my way. For other people, it's not always sports. Everyone's not an athlete. So today, we're going to spend time trying to help everyone, not just the athlete. So they've got scholarships ranging from everything from being left-handed. You can get scholarships for English, for math, for band. There's all types of avenues where you can pay for school. They have music scholarships and things like that. So today, I fielded a few questions. A lot of people want that knowledge. They just can't. They're having issues ciphering through all the filth online, which, let's be real, the internet has become a wasteland for unusable knowledge. So what we did was we compiled a list of great places to find scholarships. Over the last couple of years, you have on average, $3.5 billion worth of scholarship money going completely unused. That's a lot of money out there and a lot of people in need. So we're going to help you figure out how to find that and what to do with it and how to go about maximizing your potential with scholarships. So what you'll find in our comment section, as well as our description, is a list of scholarship application search engines. We have vetted them. We've tested them. I even have my sister-in-law. She's currently a senior in high school using them. She's already knocked out a few scholarship applications. I have her doing about 3 or 4 a week. And honestly, this is what I tell all of my athletes, and I'm telling all of you. If you're really focused on school, you have a kid who wants to go to college, parents, coaches, have your kids sit down and do 3 to 5 scholarship applications every week until they leave for school. I promise you, school will be no issue for you if you take the time to do that. It sounds tedious, it sounds like a lot of work, but honestly, it's worth it. I've got a lot of athletes currently right now bringing home money from their scholarship applications. And what I mean by that is, for my athletes, real quick, if you have 100% full ride scholarship that covers everything, you know what I would be doing? Scholarship applications. Why? Because unlike grants, scholarship money goes to you. After everything is paid up, if you have grants, the grants go back to the government. Scholarships, on the other hand, if I have 100% scholarship from athletics, and let's say I have 5 or 6 academic scholarships, guess where that money goes? That pocket. So, for all those broke college students out there, there's a way to bring in money to help situate your needs as far as that's concerned. I have some kids bringing home about $22,000 a year in extra scholarship funds for their refund. They owe nothing. They will leave school debt-free with no problems whatsoever. So for me, that's really big, and it's something I really preach for a lot of my kids, is to focus on that. So what scholarship should I apply for? All of them, honestly. I will tell you, I applied for scholarships I probably shouldn't have qualify for. But I'm going to go more into detail with you after these messages.
Boom. Gotta get out of my head. Stuff rattling around up there. In my head. Get out. No shortcuts. This is one thing. Obsession. I have doubts. Fear. Fear and rage boiling up inside. It's a part of me, but it doesn't own me. I own me.
Let's talk about why you should apply for scholarships even if you don't feel like you're qualified for them. Yes, all scholarships have a certain requirement needed academically, as well as, financial background and things like that. But the thing a lot of people don't realize is, with a lot of those requirements, a lot of people overlook actually applying for those scholarships, so that money goes unused. And that's where the problem lies. For example, let's say you're a kid with a 2.6 GPA and the scholarship requires you have to have at least a 2.8 GPA and some other things. Well, just because you have the 2.6 doesn't mean you shouldn't apply. I would still apply. You know why? Because there's going to be a lot of kids overlooking that scholarship. There's going to be a lot of people who just bypass and say, oh, you know what? I don't need that. And you get a lot of these scholarships who only get maybe a couple hundred applications in. And honestly, because they need to give that money out, they approve everybody. I have a kid right now. He didn't get his act together until his senior year. And you know what? He graduated with a 2.4 GPA. But he also got a bunch of scholarships to help cover a lot of his costs. Because you know what? He was maybe one of 200 people to apply for a scholarship, so they gave him a portion. They didn't give him the max. I think the max for one of those scholarships was maybe like $5,000. He got $1,500. It's literally better than nothing. And a lot of people don't understand that's how a lot of scholarships work. Just because there's a requirement on them, it doesn't mean you shouldn't apply. I've applied for many jobs I wasn't technically qualified for and got the offer. Why? Because you never know, what type of blessing you're going to receive when it comes to these applications. Just because you don't meet the bare minimum requirements that are laid out in front of you doesn't mean it's not meant for you. Take your time, apply for them. If there's an essay, man, make it the greatest essay in the world. Some of the essay ones are the best ones to do because guess what? Nobody wants to write an essay. So if you look at it and say, man, I don't really want to write this essay, you know how many other people are thinking like that? Everybody. So guess what that means? That means you got a better chance of actually getting that scholarship than you think. Because let's be honest, who wants to write a 500 to 1,000 word essay? Not many kids. So if you think of it that way, if you're having doubts about writing an essay or doing a scholarship application, there's probably thousands of kids just like you doing the same thing. That's the one you apply for. Because let's be in all honesty, no one else is applying. If it's you and a couple hundred people, you're going to get that scholarship. So guys, I hope I was able to provide you with a lot of information. I want you to check our heading In the description, as well as in our comments, I'll leave the list of search engines for you to check out. So please click on those. They've been vetted. They're good to go. There's nothing you have to pay for in order to be on those websites. Just sign up, knock out at least 3 to 5 applications a week, and I promise you, you won't have to worry about college, going into debt for school. This is good for not just not just young kids in high school. If you're already in college, knock them out. There's nothing that says, hey, I'm in college, I can't apply for scholarships. Never stop. If you want to, man, I would try to do every single application I could possibly do between now and whenever. As long as I don't have any loans, I'm going to be knocking them out. And that's how you guys should be thinking, because you don't want to leave school in a worse situation than you entered. And that's what happens to a lot of students out there is like, I got to get this degree. I'll take these loans, $400,000 loan, $300,000 loan or whatever. It's not that big of a deal until you get out of school and you got to deal with paying it back. Because there's going to be a struggle. There's always a struggle finding that work after college. It just is what it is. But guess what? You got to start paying that loan back 6 months after. So you want to put yourself in position where you either have no debt whatsoever or as little debt as humanly possible. And I'm going to leave you guys real quick. We're going to come back after these messages. I'm going to go over something else that wasn't supposed to be part of this episode, but it just came to me, so I'm going to talk about it. Be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So what I wanted to talk to you about is internships and externships. Now, we spoke a little bit on that last week, but I really want to go a little deeper into it. Whatever field you guys are in or that you plan on graduating, before you hit your senior year, junior and the end of sophomore year is really where you should be focused on, where do I want to intern, start building those connections, start networking with people, and use your social media. First off, be careful what you put on your social media before you start networking with people in your industry, because you can say a lot of things, whether it's religious, political, or just plain out ignorant, that will cost you all types of opportunities. If you're in the sports world and you want to work in the sports world, be careful how you insult teams and players. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand is, man, I can never find a job in this industry. You know how easy it is to pull up someone's profile and check them? I remember working at Wells Fargo before I went into the investment world. I used to do an investment blog. It was WCM Investments, and I would do a free blog just giving people insightful information and daily tips. And I would do that as well on Facebook. And honestly, I went into my final interview. They pulled out about a stack of papers this thick with every blog I ever wrote, with all my Facebook posts. They even pulled up MySpace. I didn't know the password to MySpace. And they had questions left and right, going through everything to make sure, and to clearly vet me for the process. Why? Because it's their company and you are a representation of them. Regardless how you feel in your off time, you still represent that company. So for me, the MySpace thing was probably the scariest, because I can't remember last time I was on MySpace. This was 2012. So I haven't been on MySpace since 2006. So for them to pull that up and ask me questions about something from that long ago, yeah, talk about scared out your mind. I remember on MySpace we used to do freestyle battles, and I was like, did I say something stupid out the way? No, luckily I was good to go. But just before you guys start looking to intern and do externships and things like that and start working with companies in your industry, be careful what you put out there. Be careful what's on your social media. Go clean it up. And another thing, a lot of people don't realize that actually a good source is LinkedIn and Twitter. Twitter is probably, for me, in my opinion, a better source of networking one-on-one than Facebook. And I say that because on Twitter, you get more one-on-one interaction with people in higher places. For example, when I first started out in personal training and performance training, I reached out to Larry Fitzgerald on Twitter. Larry was amazing. He wrote back. We had constant conversations on hand-eye coordination, how to develop it through athletes, and how to improve, your overall abilities as a receiver. And for me, that was huge. He gave me his personal email. I could send him workout plans and things like that. And I've done it with a few other people in my industry in the NFL, and also got a couple of letters of recommendation out of it. And I believe on Twitter, it's a lot easier to do that because a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of business owners actually handle their Twitter versus Facebook. Facebook is usually the PR department, someone running that, business manager trying to make them look good because that's what it is. So definitely, be on the alert with that when you're looking at internships and externships in college. Be smart about how you talk about your industry. If you're going into an industry, it's not really good to bash the industry you're trying to go into. If you're going into nursing or you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, let's not be out there bashing hospitals, especially specifically by name. That's just the worst, because chances are that's the hospital you're going to be trying to work at. And if you're a lawyer, let's not go out there bashing firms. You don't want to, start throwing Morgan & Morgan under the bus or something like that. And you're here in Tampa, think you're going to find a job. They're basically kings in Tampa. So you got to be careful how you discuss certain topics on social media. I understand it's a big outlet for a lot of people, but you got to be smart. You got to understand what you're looking to do in the future. And if you're going into business, you want to work for yourself like me, cool. You can say a lot. You can be a lot more free with your speech, but at the same time, be careful when you don't bash your number one demographic. That's one thing. You really want to be careful about knowing who your consumer base is and things like that, because I see a lot of people in business, they'll go out, especially in the sports world, they'll go out there and say this, that, and the third, and don't realize, well, that's your entire consumer market. You really just threw them under the bus and trying to figure out why nobody wants to work with you. That's life. So everyone has the right to say something. Doesn't mean we got to agree with it, and don't mean we got to buy your product. So be careful in how you say it, where you say it, and who you say it about. Not saying you can't, just be careful. Don't go trying to work for Wells Fargo and bash everything Wells Fargo's ever done. Trust me, it'll come back to bite you. You don't want that. You don't want them problems. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Hope I was able to provide you with a lot of information, a lot of details. We are out. I will see you next week, Tuesday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on The Craft. Big shout out to my sponsors, Skills, as well as Body Armor, for showing me love, sending me over those videos. And if you guys are looking to advertise with Alpha Pack Sports and Alpha Pack TV, please inbox me, and I'll be sure to let you know how you can go about doing that. Peace, love, I'm out.
The champ is here!